Hello, welcome to the new video. Today we're gonna take a look at Pachirisu in the Summer Cup. This Pokemon is quite expensive and quite difficult to get, but it was at least like not spawning. I think it was only available in X so far. But I got all the XL candy for this Pokemon, and so let's take a look if this Pokemon is worth getting or not. Issue for this one, you see it already, is that you have a pure electric type moveset on a pure electric type Pokemon. Anyway, we're going to have a team here that is going to change throughout the video as well. We're going to have, starting off here, the Superior. We're going to have a change towards that later on. I'm also going to talk about why this is the case. Saysop is going to be the Water Gun variant of Lantern, which is also quite a good Pokemon in the current meta. Honestly, very strong Pokemon. Would really recommend you to try it out. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to smash the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. It's free and you support the channel for that as well. Anyway, we're going to see here already one issue for this team, and this is basically the big issue which I'm going to fix later on a little bit, which is going to be the Charger Bug. Charger Bug can be a little bit of a trickier one, but what we're also going to see here is the insane amount of bulk of Pachirisu. Like, this Pokemon does not even hit a 1400 CP, which might be also a video idea which I'm going to have soon as well for the Open Great League when this comes back. But anyway, we're going to see here the opponent has a Pelipper. We are forced to go for a Shield here as well. But we saw already on how much bulk the Pachirisu has. It's one of the bulkiest Pokemon. I think it's the bulkiest electric type Pokemon in the game currently. And it's definitely quite an interesting Pokemon for sure. Anyway, Frenzy Plant is going to get shielded here. We got them quite low already. We have already a Thunder Punch stored off this one. I can take one move. Like, again, we are so bulky. Body Slam does basically do no damage here. It's kind of like the same bulk as like a Carping or whatever. I'm not too sure, but we're going to be able to knock them out and move on to the next opponent. We're going to have a Vigoroth here. Honestly, Vigoroth is going to be a Pokemon that is still kind of neutral against everything, so we can kind of play around it. This matchup also going to change a little bit in a few games here, but we will see the opponent is going to have to take the Frenzy Plant here. They decide to use a Shield, which is totally okay. We are swapping out because we have an ABB style line. And they're going to go into the Girafarig. So far, so okay. We can go for the Surf Bait. Still going to do quite a lot of damage, and they decide to use a Shield here. I'm fairly certain they're going to have Trailblaze, but as long as I get the move off, I'm kind of happy, and I should have used a Shield here most likely. This is going to knock me out. This was not necessary. I should have used the Shield. This is completely a silly move by me, and definitely something that I could have done better here. But I actually don't even know why I didn't use a Shield. Like, I have to be honest there, I have no idea why I didn't use a Shield. It does not make any sense at all. Now we're going to be relying on the Pachirisu to win this battle, and I feel like if I just used the Shield, I would have had a great time still in this matchup. I guess I was fearing the potential of these Psychic Fangs, but I knew that they very likely just had Trailblaze, but yeah, here we're going to see Thunderbolt is going to connect against the Toxapex. Totally fine for me. This is going to do around like 50% damage. Not even, it's only around like 40% damage against the opponent. And this kind of shows also, of course, that we don't have too much attack. We could have had actually a little bit better stats as well on the Pokemon, as you can see, with 1359 CP. Like, there would have been definitely some way of getting this Pokemon a little bit higher up in terms of stats, but yeah, maybe we best buddy it eventually and we're gonna get it close to the 1400 CP there, but they're going to be able to knock me out just barely there, and we lose the CMP tie. I feel like this game would have been winnable if I played it a little bit better. But of course, this is on me. Let's take a look if the next game is also on me. We're going to see the Kingdra in the lead, a Pokemon that you're most likely seen already in the channel as well at this point. While I record this video is not out yet, so definitely a Pokemon that I feel like is really good in the current meta, and I would really recommend you to try out the Shadow variant of Kingdra. But we're going to be able to use a Shield here. Outrage is going to get shielded, and so I was thinking of going for another Aerial Ace, but I did not really want to risk them going for a no shield. And so I decided to go for the charge move straight away, going to be able to get the final shield of the opponent here, as I can swap out into the Pachirisu. Pachirisu can take the hit here quite easily, and we're going to be able to see now that we can go for the Thunder Punch as well. This is going to be quite nice, as we're going to knock out the opponent, which is cool, and the opponent going to go now to a Lickitung, which is also kind of interesting. This is going to be able to now get some damage onto them, but also I was hoping that they maybe go for a charge move here as well, because yeah, for the Lickitung matchup, I don't really want to have energy on the opponent for the Lantern here, because they have, of course, the super effective Power Whip. And my best play here is to overfarm quite a bit and hope there's something in the back that I can deal with. As we will see, Water Gun is doing quite some decent damage against the opponent as well. They're gonna go for a charge move here. This is just going to be a body slam for sure. And we will see the Marowak in the back. And this is going to be great because we can go for the Surf. But is this going to be enough? It is not. Now I have two options. I can either go for a Surf, which I will do, or I could try to go for the full farm down and take a hit from the opponent. I kind of went for the safer play in my opinion, because I know a Body Slam is still what I can survive. They would be forced to go for a Power Whip, and this is not going to happen here, so we can knock them out and win this battle. Next opponent coming through, a final battle with this team here. We're going to see the Charger Bug in the lead, and this kind of made me want to change this team up a little bit, because Charger Bug is just a little bit too difficult to deal with the lead that we currently have. And there are like different kind of options that I can go for. For example, I could go for a Venusaur. Venusaur would help me out a little bit as well, because you would have at least the neutral damage and stab damage of the move Poison Fang, plus you also only take neutral damage from the Exeter. So like Venusaur, decent option for sure. I could go for a Victory Bell, but I already took a look at Victory Bell. And so I was kind of looking into like kind of different options, and I came up with a Pokemon that is not very spicy at all, but is very helpful in order to deal with this Pokemon, in order to deal with other Pokemon like Vigoroth a little bit easy as well. And it's going to be, which you're gonna see later on, the Trevenant. Trevenant is going to be my replacement for the Superior. And I feel like, and also what I kinda got through the battles, I just had a way better time with Trevenant. I went on a straight 5-0 win streak with Trevenant as well, which was kinda mad, which you're gonna see now after this battle here. And as you're gonna see as well, the opponent has the Mantine here. We're going to be able to go for a charge move. We are still not out of it yet, and like we still have a chance here of winning this battle. But I have to hope that they're gonna use a shield here on the Aerial Ace. Otherwise, I have no chance of winning this battle, and they decide to no-shield this, and so this game is over. Again, I feel like both of the losses that we got with this team were still kind of avoidable and like definitely kind of tricky, but I still felt like this team might not really have it in it, and so I decided to swap my team now afterwards. Anyway, here Aerial Ace is going to get the fire shield from the opponent. We are not going to be able to survive this Body Slam, and so we are gonna go down here, even though we have some energy on our Pachirisu. I can try to go for that Thunderbolt. I will be able to reach this Thunderbolt, but they have now a Body Slam stored. This is going to connect, and they survive with 1 HP. So like two very close battles there, maybe would have also be able to win, even with the Superior. Superior is not bad, but I feel like Trevenant is a little bit better. So, Trevenant is going up here now for us. The Charger Bug is not going to enjoy this matchup too much. And of course, we're gonna start off immediately with a Charger Bug in the lead, which is quite hilarious. We're going to be able to go for that Shadow Ball against the opponent, and this is going to now be able to connect and get the shield from the opponent, which is kind of cool. So, we're gonna use the shield as well. The shield is coming up, XL is going to get shielded, and we will see that the opponent is going to stay in here, and I can go for another Shadow Ball. I still think you win this in the 2-shield scenario, but after looking at the damage here, I was not too sure, but the opponent let the move go through, and we will see the Skeledirge and also the Vigoroth. Both of them going to be quite neutral for my backline. Of course, against Skeledirge, I would have been able to also maybe save up into Pachirisu, which would have been a little bit safer. But I feel like Pachirisu has some play no matter what, as long as I can somewhat get over an advantage here. I can try to go for another Surf. I should have not used the shield here, I feel like. I feel like this is kind of a mistake, because I would have been able to survive it and either get like switch or shield advantage, which would have been kind of cool. Like this, I'm getting neither, because the opponent's still going to be able to reach another charge move here. They're going to be out of energy, but it's still going to be a tough one for me. And so I have to kind of hope that somehow I can win this with my Pachirisu. And so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and go for one more fast move after this one. Pachirisu can take the Shadow Ball quite easily, but I don't think we can take another charge move. And so I will go for a Thunderbolt. They should have a disarming voice at this point. CP definitely would have lost anyway, so like going for the Thunder Punch, it doesn't make sense. And there you go for the disarming voice and knock me out, but I can still farm them down with the Shadow Claw of the Trevenant. And this is kind of what I'm eating as well. Trevenant has quite a lot of play against those other Pokemon that we were struggling against as well before, but let's move on to the next opponent. This is going to be the Vigoroth in the lead here, which is going to be something that we can still deal with as well. We can go ahead and go for one charge move. You want to swap out eventually. Best case scenario, you can catch like a Rock Slide on your Lantern. Like worst case scenario, you get hard rolled by a Whiscash. So like that did definitely not work out as well for me. But the Mud Bomb is going to definitely do some decent damage. I wanted to go for a charge move before and I was kind of confused that this was not a CMP tie. But the game is being the game, but they are going to be able to now knock me out. Using a shield there doesn't really help me, like the opponent just gets more energy, like there was not really any benefit of me using shield. They are going to be able to go for another charge move though, and now it's a little bit of a risky play that I'm gonna go for, and I decided to go for 5 more fast moves, which is very risky because I was not too sure if the opponent would be in a 4 fast move cycle for like the Mud Bomb, but they weren't, and so I will be able to still keep at least some energy here, which is kind of nice. They're going to have the Vigoroth, and the Vigoroth has so much energy. Body Slam coming through, fine for me. Body Slam coming through, we can still take another one. But they're staying in here, and not only this, the opponent is also going to decide to go ahead and use a shield here on the Thunder Punch as far as I remember, I think. They do, and this already tells me what they have in the back. Like, I know at this point exactly what they're going to have in the back, and I can try to play around it. What they have in the back is going to be the most likely either Pelipper or Mantine. Like, otherwise there is no reason for them to go ahead and use 2 shields here especially. So it is very likely going to be either the Pelipper or the Mantine. I hope for the Pelipper. Pelipper would be way easier for me to deal with. It is going to be the Mantine. And so here's the issue for the Pachirisu. While we're bulky, we're not going to do too much damage against the opponent. And even though it's a double super effective move, it did barely really tickle them. But we can still retaliate with the Seed Bomb. We knock them out and win this battle. Next opponent, actually someone from the current faction team I'm on, so that's kind of cool. I actually don't really play faction, I'm just like chilling there. I played faction before though, but I just don't really have the time currently. Like, time is a big issue for me sadly currently. I wish I would be able to do some more even for YouTube as well, but having to move plus having university in like masters and whatever is just not really... Yeah, it's a lot of time that consumes it. But like, anyway, we're going to see the Diggersby here. Diggersby is going to be a Pokemon that I kind of want to showcase as well. Maybe already showcased at this point, who knows. But yeah, Diggersby is definitely a solid Pokemon. I might actually play the exact same team that they are running here. There's a very solid team right now that is going to be Pelipper, Charjabug, and Diggersby, which a lot of top tier battlers play. And so I kind of want to try the same team out as well. But as you can see, the opponent is going to still get to another move, but our Lantern does not really care too much. Scorching Sands doesn't knock them out, does not knock us out, and so we're going to be able to align ourselves. And look at this, I was right with the call of the team. It's a team that most of the Japanese top players are currently running, so like it is a very good team to run, definitely. Here, Pachirisu is going to be able to take some hits. Like, yeah, they can go for like 2 Weather Balls or something, but... it is going to be fine. Maybe they can even go for 3 Weather Balls. I'm not too sure. Again, a Volt Switch is not doing as much damage as expected. And yes, they can even go for another one. What we're gonna try to do now is, because we're not at a serve yet, I kinda want to do something interesting here with my Lantern after my Pachirisu goes down. Because one serve would mostly knock them out from this range, especially if I would be able to hit the Thunder Punch, but I don't. But I don't want to get knocked out by the opponent's Volt Switch, and so I decided to go into my Lantern, go for 2 fast moves now, and then swap out and catch basically the Volt Switch damage on my Trevenant. It doesn't matter, because I can still go for the Seed Bomb, but it would have been a cool play if they went for an XL here. But yeah, I will be able to now knock them out, win the game, a good game there, and we can move on to the next opponent. Oranguru lead. Horrible lead for us. We can swap out straight away, and here is the kinda crazy thing about Lantern. And this happened twice, I'm not too sure if all the battles are in here for this one. But Lantern with a water gun, because it's a one-turn fast move, and because like especially like squishier, less HP Pokemon kinda struggle with like one-turn fast moves against them, it is kinda mad on how strong Lantern is. Like, it's a Trevenant at the end of the day, and we can actually align ourselves. Like, that is absolutely wild. Like, this is not something that's supposed to be happening. Anyway, Oranguru is going to be able to get some more energy against me. Oranguru actually a very good Pokemon in the current meta as well, something I kinda maybe want to take a look at as well. Here we will see the Trailblaze coming through, going to boost their own attack, and Thunderbolt is going to be able to now connect against the opponent as well. This is going to be able to do quite a lot of damage, and I expect them to go for a CMP tie. I have to use a shield here, but I can overpump 2 Thunder Punches, which might help me out for later on. I'm forced to go for a charge move though, because I would have not knocked them out with another fast move of my own, and they would have been able to go for another foul play there. In the back, we're going to have a Toxapex, and now, at this point, there's only one way of me winning this battle. Or there's actually 2 ways, and I actually kind of want to go for the a little bit more risky way. The one way here is to go for a Shadow Ball and hope that the opponent goes for a Brian, while knowing that of course I still have a shield left. And so I was thinking of not going for a shield here, and last second I decided to go for a shield, which I regret quite, early on anyway afterwards here, because the opponent was able to go for the Brian to bait out the shield. I will go for one Seed Bomb, which is going to be able to get the shield from the opponent as well. And so they decide to go for the Sludge Wave, knock me out, and yeah, Thunder Punch is going to be able to connect now against the opponent, and that's going to knock them out with like a few HP left on the Pachirisu. Final battle for today. I kind of want to, of course, talk a little bit real quick about Pachirisu itself and what I think about this Pokemon. I think it's actually a very solid Pokemon. I would not say that this Pokemon is busted by any means, but it's a very good Pokemon to run, and I would really recommend you to, like, if you have the Pokemon, try to build it, try to play with it a little bit. This Pokemon was so much fun to play, and it is a little bit difficult to play, but I feel like maybe in the future it might get like a move like Trailblaze as well. That would be really cool for this Pokemon, like some kind of coverage, just to make this even a little bit better. But so far, definitely a cool Pokemon to run. Definitely don't regret spending all my Stardust on this Pokemon. Like 500,000 Stardust is quite a lot still, even for me. And yeah, I actually kind of spent, I think in like 2 days, 2 million Stardust on the game, just on random Pokemon that I wanted to build or like build a better version of. So yeah, there's still going to be some content coming up as well with Pokemon that I just recently built. I don't know, like I cannot really keep my Stardust together. I always build like something random. And here in this case it was the Pachirisu, but definitely a Pokemon that I would recommend you to build as well. Here we were able to now actually go for, we're still able to have basically the Seed Bomb, which is kind of important. But even better for us is that we can go for that Thunderbolt against the Toxapex. The Toxapex is not going to appreciate this at all. We can use a shield here. It is going to be that Brine, which is a smart play by the opponent. But basically, because we have the Seed Bomb stored, we know that we win the CMP tie against the opponent. I have to keep a shield because I know that the opponent has some energy stored on their cracks there. And so I have to go up to 100 energy, go for one Thunder Punch, keep my Thunderbolt alive, and basically hope that the opponent is going to let the move go through, or use a shield. Doesn't matter actually, like the opponent is done at this point. I can use a shield, CMP tie, lose it, but I don't really care too much about it. I win the CMP tie with the Seed Bomb anyway, but the Thunderbolt is already enough and we can knock them out. And that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.